especially in the first half as planned. We got, one of the biggest things was as the week went on, and like we said, I thought our training staff did an absolutely incredible job getting him ready. It was all muscle issues, and as you guys know, if you got a really bad bruise, the farther and farther away you get from that contact, the better you feel. I thought he looked great. It was really important to keep him in the rhythm that he's in. I thought the defense pressured the quarterback and played really well. What a great play. I don't know exactly who tipped the ball. Y'all probably guys do. And the interception by Skylar Gill-Howard, but the touchdown goes to John Curry. I mean, just an absolutely incredible effort, because the kid from Kent State's going to, catch him from behind, maybe punch the ball out. And John Curry, just incredible effort to make the block, to spring Skylar. So, first half went almost exactly the way that you want it. Frustrating. We had a couple of big punt returns. Tristan Gentry is electric back there. He's got so much courage. I can't remember. It's been a while since we had a guy like that, and so it's frustrating because we had a couple of holding calls. I thought the second one could have gone either way. I thought MHP Pilot had a really good block and sprung him, but we got to clean that up. And then just sloppy with some young guys, but you know what? They got a lot of playing time, and we're going to grow from it. I had another young guy score a touchdown. Bryson Jones scored his second touchdown, and man, what a throw by Will and catch by him. So excited. We'll see where we're at. As far as being banged up, I don't think we had anything major. Hopefully we didn't. Didn't feel like we did, and then just get ready. It just continues to get the opponent going to get better and better, and we've got a big game next week. Can't thank the crowd enough. I thought it was a great crowd. Coach Wood was a little bit worried because we came in early. We've been coming to the stadium earlier, and he was saying, maybe they're still out tailgating. They were, because they filled the stands. I thought our student body was awesome, and I appreciate them. The majority of them staying for the whole game, and we're going to need them next week. So with that, open up with any questions.
Coach, what did you see from your second and third teamers, and who made the biggest impact in the second half?
Our plan coming out at half was to let Will Hammond run the offense. I thought he did a really good job. I thought Hunter Zambrano played well. We kept Sherry and DC in. We bumped Jacob some over to left tackle, so that was good for Jacob Ponton. I thought that Bryson Jones showed up. Micah showed up a couple times. Roy Alexander had a big catch for a first down. And then we're all seeing that the Hutto Hippo, Will Hammond, can run, man. That's just another dynamic and with him. Not that Barron can't, but he's a little bit. I think he's a little bit faster. Barron might argue, but I think he's a little bit faster and has a good feel for it. And then I was proud of Mitch coming in. Thought he did a good job and moved the ball down to where they didn't get the ball back, and we were able to run the best play in football, the victory, and ran it a couple of times. So it's always fun.
Hey, Coach. The offense had a good day overall, put up a lot of points, but there was a couple of short yardage situations which looked a lot like the last couple of years. Is there any concern from you from that?
The 4th and 1 that we did not get on our end of the field was very frustrating. There's a lack of detail. They brought a mic. We were going to double the down lineman, and they brought the mic, so it was really turned into a one-on-one blocks. I did not think we strained at the level that we need to. I think some stuff that we are going to do as far as like whether we get everybody in a 3-point or 4-point stance when they know we're running it, we know we're going to run it. But that was one of the most frustrating plays of the game because we didn't strain. We got beat at the point of attack, and that's why we didn't get the first down.
Go ahead, Jared. Coach, I guess there's been a lot of focus on the defensive line and how well they've been playing, so it's probably made the secondary's job a bit easier, but I'm just curious, I guess, how you feel like those guys have played in the back end.
Yeah, Bryce Pollock, I thought he's played really well the last 2 weeks. I think that Cole and BJ do a great job tackling. We were able to play Balfour this week, and I thought he played really well. Amir played well, but it was good to get Balfour. Our plan was, to get him in. He's been dealing with a high ankle sprain and felt a lot better this week and got a lot of reps, and we wanted to get him in early. He was really physical. As long as those guys do a good job communicating, especially the starters, we've got a really good secondary. And like you said, I mean, it's one of those deals if you get in third and, 6, 7, 8 plus, you got to deal with the edges and the interior guys, and they keep showing up.
Coach, y'all were able to shore up the pre-snap penalties from last season, but now with the holding calls on a lot of these kick returns, what is the plan? What's the order of operations besides just looking at film?
I thought we were a little bit better we got a couple of returns today that we were better at. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to watch, really watch, not to criticize anybody out there that wasn't on our team or Kent State's team, but man, that was a really, if I'm going to a clinic and I'm teaching, what we teach is whenever you're locked on and you start losing them, we say worship the returner, and he does, and he sticks his hands up like this, and it's a really good block. Man, I don't know how else to coach it, so I'm really anxious to see some of those. I thought the first one was legit, as far as there could have been a couple of them. I thought we had a block in the back and a hold. It just goes back. That is a weapon. We have good returners. We have to do a better job of putting our bodies in position. I know Coach Perry will get it coached up, and we'll keep working it because Tristan Gentry is going to be a really good punt returner.
You had a ton of positive takeaways from the last 2 weeks, but what is something you want your team to clean up before next week's match?
Yeah, I think next week's going to be one of those really physical football games. They're going to be a good team. We got to stay ahead of the sticks. I really have been proud the last 2 weeks. I think we had one pre-snap penalty today on offense, and then we had a pre-snap penalty on defense with the threes. We've got to continue to be really good as far as, pre-snap penalties, and then we got to clean up some of the holding. He said it perfect. We had to clean up some of the holding calls in the return game, because if you go back last week, the 2 returns and the 2 holds, they were huge returns. Neither one of those holds had anything to do with the return, right? So that's what's frustrating as far as the guys not, doing a good job with their hands. And today, one of the 2 sprung the guy, but I thought that was the one that was a really good block.
Go ahead, in the very back again. I'm sure you'll see it later on social media, the big smile on the face of Skylar Gill-Howard as he crossed the goal line. Have you ever seen somebody move like that with his physical attributes, and how exciting is that to see his potential come out the way he's started off the year for you guys on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, man, he is a ball of energy. He's extremely athletic. He started his high school, middle school, and high school career as a running back. Whenever the NFL scouts ask about Skylar Gill-Howard, I feel like I'm pretty good about talking about this guy because we beat him whenever he was in high school, Ed Oliver. He reminds me a lot of Ed Oliver. So Ed Oliver actually played defensive tackle and running back against us when we played him, at Spring Westfield. And so they remind me a lot of each other. Ed's a little bit taller than Skylar, but not by much. They're both really physical kids. They're very, very strong. And it was fun to see him, getting over the field and really run.
So you've beaten your last 2 opponents 129-21. There is a very good chance that next week you all will replicate the same agenda. If a system were to be put in place next year that would reward teams for tough losses instead of penalizing them kind of like they do now, this is all also per Kent State alum Nick Saban, would you all in this program agree to that, despite the fact that you'll be possibly 3-0 heading into Big 12 play. You're getting a chance to get your second and third string guys in, and getting out maybe like the nitty-gritty details before hitting in conference.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me who I'm rooting for. I did send Matt Campbell a text today and tell him congrats. It was a big win. Iowa State against their rivals, 16-13. But I just know if we take care of business every single week, we're going to be exactly where we want to be. I don't know the right answer because I don't know as far as how we can take some of the bias from certain ratings that come out, the FPI or whatever they call it, and the strength of schedule, and like just because there's a logo, there's a different strength of schedule. I don't know how you do that. So with the system that we have in right now, so with us, we're going to try to take care of business. We know that we've got one more non-conference game. Oregon State's going to be a really good team. They got a really good quarterback. They beat K-State. That quarterback beat K-State whenever he was at Texas. And then we turn around and we open up Big 12 play on the road, as y'all saw, with a really good Utah team. And so we just got to control what we control. We do have to figure out as a college football has to figure out that how we take the bias out of who says a strength of schedule is a strength of schedule in the non-conference and then even in the conference.
Joey, a lot of people asked, obviously, with Barron's situation, being hurt to whatever degree last week, well, why don't you just sit him since you're not playing a real strong opponent? And you spoke about, I think, earlier today on the radio, just you feel an urgency to have this team prepared for Utah.
Yeah, I haven't studied them, but I've heard multiple people, one that I feel like knows football. He felt like it was the best offensive line he's seen in 30 years. There'll be more scouts and GMs at the Utah game than we've ever seen because of the O-line and D-line that's going against each other. And I just thought it was really, we've got to be hitting our stride going into conference. And, we'll have a break after the Utah game. We've got an early bye, and then we get ready for Houston. But I just think it's extremely important. And, I felt like the worst thing, if he could play, number one, he would probably fight me to play. I mean, Barron is just a different cat and loves playing the game. And he, as soon as I saw him, really the progression between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I knew he was going to play. But I thought it was important because I think Oregon State's going to be a tough game next week. And then I know that coaching staff of Utah, they're a really good coaching staff. They're really physical, and I don't want us to not be playing at our best and getting as many reps as we can get with our best guys on the field.
And considering you've had not real strong competition the last couple of weeks, what are the things that you've done well that you are maybe still concerned that this is going to be a lot harder to do against Oregon State and Utah and whomever else than has been the first 2 weeks? How good a handle do you feel like you have on this team?
I think we have a good handle. I think that we challenged them, especially early in the game, that we could play harder. I thought we were playing really hard, but I think we got more. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't think we've even come close to how hard we could play. I also feel like the more and more 31-9 and 2 and 33 and 0 are on the field an entire game, you're going to see them playing at a different level. I think Barron has played really well. I've been proud of our young running backs. I think that there was a couple of plays today that Barron had 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 seconds to throw the deep ball. So I like the pass pro. Frustrated with the short yardage. Like, that's something right there. We're going to get in some games, and y'all know me. We're going to be going for it on fourth down, and we've got to be better. So that's the one thing that we've got to get a better handle on.
Did you have Adam Hill as your first 100-yard rusher this year?
No, that wasn't on my bingo card. I was proud of him, really proud of him. He's there's times that he's got to continue. We call him Adam Downhill. I want him to get downhill again this week. I asked him, how much do you weigh today? And he said 230 plus. And I said, well, then they need to fill 230 pounds today. I know the first thing he's going to say to me whenever I get to see him is that, the fumble, we got to have better ball security. But I'm proud of him, and man, that's been really big for him to get those reps because we're going to need him at some point. And the biggest thing is I think he's done a good job in his pass pro, and I feel good about all three of the running backs we put in the game.
All right, that'll do it for Coach.
All right, thank y'all.
H2O up here.
Yeah, we in the game.
It's not my type of water. It's not my type of crowd, bro. Think I'm supposed to take care of this. This way.
Where's our mic? Who wants to lead us off? You got Sean?
What's up, man? Right.
Gentlemen, what do you think you did well enough today, and what do you still need to improve on before Oregon State?
I feel like we played as a unit. Good
I think
ball.
we did a good job keeping them behind the sticks. I know we had a bunch of TFLs, but as a D-line, as a defense, I think we still do better playing off of each other, whether it's in the pass rush game or in the back end with the linebackers, just figuring out a way to completely flow. Because we're all flowing, but once we get it to 100% where everything is just supernatural, we'll be unstoppable.
Other than yourselves, who was the teammate that you looked at and said, man, he's making the effort that I knew he could?
John Kerr.
For me, AJ Holmes, y'all got to take a look at this guy. I was like, even though I'm the starter, it really doesn't matter to me. He's a one, I'm a one. So you see him out there, you see the way he plays. He's really elusive, and he had a great game today. 2 TFLs, 1 sack. That guy's been amazing all fall camp, last game and this one. So y'all got to watch out for him.
Guys, we've talked plenty of times. Both of you guys are even keel when y'all are talking to the press and the media. But whenever you both take a step on the field, you guys both turn into different people. Mm-hmm. What attributes that? What goes into y'all's preparation, getting onto the field and turning into an animal?
I feel like it's a mindset, just going out and not taking no play for granted and just going out, just going like full effort every single play, like just giving it to y'all every play for the brothers that's beside you, that's behind you. And I feel like that be my goal every time I step out on the field, is to just give it my all every play for my brothers.
Yeah, we practiced so hard all week just for 60 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And when you look at it like that, we're not going to get that time back. So as we're playing with each other in practice, going hard, whether it was fall camp or the practices we have throughout the week, that mindset is just like, we're not going to get this back, so why not go out there and give it all you got?
Mm-hmm.
2 games in with Texas Tech, how do you both feel y'all have played up into this point, and what do y'all look on adding to y'all's games moving towards Big 12 conference play?
Like I said before, I love Jones AT&T Stadium. I love the Red Raider fans. But as a team, like I said before, as long as we continue playing off each other, it's going to be super up from here. So we'll see that.
Me, I just feel like, these first 2 games was like good games, but we still got a lot of work to do when it comes to like playing teams like Oregon State and the BYU and Houston, teams like that. It's a lot more out there that we can work on, and I feel like we're gonna get better throughout the weeks ahead.
Skylar, obviously impressive moment for you today. Was that your first career pick six?
Yeah, first career pick six. I mean, I had a couple touchdowns in high school, but collegiately, yeah.
Coach compared you to Ed Oliver. What does that mean to you, getting that kind of recognition? And will we see you as a running back possibly in the future?
I mean, I really appreciate that Ed Oliver comment by Coach. I appreciate that. It's probably right on. But as for me playing running back, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, Joyner's out, so another 0, I'm going to have to step up to the plate. But y'all talk to Coach Mack about that.
Who else we have any questions here? Don?
So Skylar, if we turn on the tape of your interception return for the touchdown, your pick six, how would you narrate that play for us? How it unfolded?
So I mean, it all just happened really quick. I saw Lee get into the quarterback. He was in front of me, and I was heading towards him too. I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna hit him. I'll keep it PG. And then quarterback still threw it. I'm not sure why he did that, but then he threw it. It was going to the zone that Romello was in, so either way, he probably would have picked it off. But then A.J. Holmes, like I was talking about earlier, smacked it. So I'm like, oh my God, like just catch it. And then after I caught it, like everything kind of went blank. Like couldn't hear anything, just super silent, and just took off. And after that, it was full race. And John Curry with a great block. I don't know if I would have got hawked anyways. I'm kind of fast, but yeah, it was a surreal moment.
It looked like you saw the ball pretty. Looked like you had a good eye on the ball.
No, I did. I had pretty good instincts, I like to say, but as I'm seeing it, just channeling the inner receiver and catching unbelievable balls. So yeah.
What was the top speed right there, Scott?
I probably hit top speed. It had to be. I don't think I was moving that fast, but everybody told me I was. I told them to change the number, so it'd probably say 22 miles per hour, but it was probably 18 if we're being realistic.
You obviously you run a lot of sprints. That was 55 yards. How did you feel those last 15 or 20? Were you strong, or were you feeling it?
No, I wasn't feeling that at all. You know what I'm saying? I still like to consider myself an athlete that just plays D-line. You know what I'm saying? So when I was taking off, I did a lot of sprinting this summer out in Denver, so that stuff really helped me with the altitude and stuff. But I didn't feel it till I got to the sideline. When I got to the sideline, everybody's hype. I couldn't even get to the bench. I was breathing heavy, I'm not going to lie. But when I was on the field, I wasn't feeling it at all.
Joey mentioned that you were a running back at some way back earlier. What was kind of your highlight as a running back?
I ran the ball middle school, a little bit in high school until like my junior year. Then I started playing like a TC kind of position to where you're not really a tight end, but you are at the same time. So my favorite was just getting the ball, and I would stiff arm the crap out of people, and it'd be the funniest thing. Me and one of my old friends, his name is Ariel, every time I come out to the sideline, we just reenact it. So probably just the stiff arms.
Skylar, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere right now, but you've actually got Thick Six trending on Twitter right now. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and it seems like a lot of people are having fun with it right now.
I mean, if they're having fun with it, then I'll just let it ride. They probably could have picked a better caption for that, but I'll let it ride. I'll take the Thick Six any day of the week. Just appreciate the guys for that, man.
Mello, in these first two games, I've seen you pull out like a swim move. I think today you had a spin, nice, like a dip. Is how much of games like these where you're winning by a lot, obviously, how much of these first two games allowed you to kind of maybe experiment or just try different things with your pass rush moves?
It depends on like what type of setter I'm going against. I try to switch it up, like when going up against someone. I try to play with his mind. Like I try to like go speed here or counter here, and if I see him biting on something that's not working, I'll switch it up, and that's what caused the counters to come into play.
And I know like Coach Wood talked about the other day, just wanting improvement as far as like pass rush lanes. I'm sure y'all are probably harping on that as well, but just after these first two games, how rewarding has it been to finally be able to put y'all's product on the field? I know Coach McGuire said as long as you two and Lee and Bailey are on the field, he wants to see more of that. And just how rewarding has it been to finally, even though it may not have always been perfect, you're still seeing kind of what it can really look like with y'all four all together?
Yeah, we're seeing it progress. And like I said before, we're trying to play off each other even better. I think we had 3 sacks today, and there's no peak on how many sacks we can have in a game, but I definitely know we can have more than 3. So it's rewarding to see, but it's also rewarding to know we have to go back out another week and improve even more to get even more. So we'll make the most out of it.
All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Baron and Coy next.
How you fellas doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, doing good. Baron had that scare last week. How you feeling after today's game?
Yeah, I feel really good. I just want to give a lot of praise to our medical staff, our strength staff, and then the facilities that we have here. It's one of a kind facility. I mean, the way I got to get my body back right, it was all muscular, just dealing with a lot of soreness. Didn't get to practice Tuesday, really not much Wednesday. Get to do the walk through Thursday and then try to rip it Friday. But felt good. Coach Leftwich had a great game plan. I think we did a good job at executing it. Obviously, some things to clean up for sure. But a good start to the season, 2-0.
2 games in for both of you guys. How do you feel the team's rhythm is after scoring 40-plus points in the first 2 games in the first half?
Yeah, it's a big confidence booster for our program and for what we do on offense. We like to go fast. We like to score a lot of points. So to have two back-to-back wins like that, it's going to set us up for later on in the season for sure.
How much does that fast-paced style that you guys have seen the first couple of weeks wear and tear on defense as we see it? But as a player, can you see that more than maybe media guys or fans knowing, hey, I can go here because you see him maybe holding on his knees, stuff like that?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the tempo. I've been in the tempo tree for my whole entire career. So 4th offensive coordinator, 4th time that we're going to go fast every time. So it's a big factor for our offense. We're the most conditioned team on the field, and that's why, we can get a step on other opponents.
This is for both of you as well. What are some improvements you guys, obviously an impressive first 2 weeks, what are you guys trying to improve upon, as Oregon State next week, and then obviously that big one opener for Big 12 play against Utah?
Well, for the receiver room, for sure, is we look good on TV, and there's a lot of touchdowns being scored, but we leave a lot of things out there, just little details. We're like half a man away, half a step away from a big play. Majority of the time, and it's just like one guy that does one thing wrong and it doesn't make the play work. So we just clean up the little things from being good to great, and then that's where the receiver room's got to go.
Yeah, I think offensively, just staying on the gas the whole game. If we're putting up points, let's keep putting up points. We got a really good defense. So the ball's going to get back to us quick. It's like we can't sit on the bench, which is a nice thing. But at the end of the day, just executing throughout the whole entire game.
Brandon, you indicated you didn't practice much this week, but I guess at the same time, that's kind of normal for you anymore, right?
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah. Nothing I'm not used to.
And can you clarify, last Saturday night, Joy, said kind of hyperextended knee, but it sounds like it was more kind of your calf that was kind of the more lingering effect.
Yeah, just the outside part of my calf. It was just got hit differently. There's a lot of stress through it. Couldn't put much weight on it. It was just a really frustrating kind of injury. It's something that, is not really preventable. But at the same time, I'm happy to be back. It felt really good today. O-line did a great job keeping me clean all day. So props off to them.
And to be 18 out of 26, 258, 3 touchdowns, didn't look like you missed many throws. How did you feel?
Yeah, I thought we executed fine. There was a couple plays where I could have got us to a better protection so I could have myself safe down in the low red. I thought we ran the ball well. I thought Kent State had a good game plan. I thought they were a much physical team. I thought they had some good players up front, and I think our O-line did a good job of executing. But at the end of the day, I'm just proud of the way that we moved the ball offensively.
And Joey said it was important to him that you played if you could. How important was it to you to play?
Yeah, I told him I'm playing. This is a minor thing that I've played through. I've played with a lot of worse things. So I'm just happy to have a strong shoulder. I'm happy to be out there again. Practice not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but when the ball is put down on the field, just go execute.
For you, obviously, time to see other quarterbacks play. Just assess how you've seen Will and Adam as well for the running back room as well.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome to get some young guys some reps. It's awesome to see the way that Will and Mitch, the way that they prepare themselves for the games too. It helps me out a ton. Throughout the week, if I'm not practicing, they see a look on the field. They're saying, hey, look for this pre-snap, post-snap, we saw this. That quarterback room has been awesome. Coach Leftwich and, Coach Lindsay does a great job too with us. With the backs too, get to see Adam Hill. I got to play him in high school. So, real small 3A ball. He's probably 2A ball with Albany. But just to see a small town kid to come out here at a high level and, play football, it's awesome.
This question's for both of you. Coy, this is from the wide receiver's perspective and for the quarterback perspective. What's it like seeing the younger guys of the wide receiver room in your eyes, and what's the wide receiver room on the youth look for you, Barron?
That fires me up. I'm ready. It's like, because when they come in, they don't really know what's really going on, and, you help them throughout. They kind of assign, like, one of us to take one of the younger guys under our wing. And so, like, my dude was Leighton, and then, CD had Bryson Jones, and then Reggie had so-and-so. But it was just kind of like seeing them go through, like, what we go through, and then them like dealing with like the mental aspect and like going through fall camp, and then them having success on the field, like kind of just makes you happy that that people are working hard and they're actually getting some success on the back end of it.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch those young guys because, man, that freshman receiver group that we brought in, it's going to be really special, and for them to get to learn from guys like this that have played a lot of football, it's going to really help them out in the long run.
You've seen the defensive front every day in practice for a few months. Watching Skylar make that interception and take it back to the house, what was that like, seeing that for y'all's defense?
It was kind of wild. Coy and I were actually sitting next to each other on the sideline, and I was like, we need a turnover. And Coy was like, pick six, right here, pick six. And I was like, all right. And sure enough, AJ made a great play at tipping the ball. Skylar heads up play for having his eyes up. And as soon as he was running down the sideline, I was like, he's going. It was awesome. It was really cool.
I made sure everyone knew I
Yeah, Coy was like, yeah, I said that. I said that.
We got one more in the back.
And you guys obviously just talked about the pick six, but what else can you say about the defense, how they were able to get to the quarterback, limit the yardage? What can y'all say about that?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's a game changer. Just to have, that kind of defense, it's not even defensive front, it's the back end too. If anyone gets past 3 yards, Cole is coming downhill and hitting them. So, they're a really special group. We had to kick a field goal and they came up, hey, we got y'all, 3 and out next deal. We go down and score, and it's just, Coach McGuire talks about it all the time, playing complementary football. And, they do their job, we do our job, everyone's happy.
Yeah, you come off the bench and you only have a 50-yard field. It's like kind of like
nice.
It's awesome. You don't have to worry about driving 90 yards, which we can do that any day of the week. But it's awesome coming off the field and being like, okay, we got short yardage, now we're going to take a shot. Because what's the bad thing that can happen? We're still on the 50-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.